This is the Bushnell Wingman. It was the first ever golf GPS Bluetooth speaker. And this is the Wingman 2, the newer version of this. But did we really need a new version of this? Let's talk about it. Quick heads up, if you click any of the links below, those are affiliate links, and I will get a commission if you buy any of these products. I honestly do not care if you buy any of them. My whole goal here is to help you find the right products for your needs, and so hopefully I give you the information you are looking for, and if you're not finding it, if you still have questions about any of the speakers I talk about in this video, drop a comment. I will do my best to answer every single one. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, the whole idea of a golf Bluetooth speaker for me, I'm not sure it's for me. Yes, the idea that you can hit a button and get audible GPS distances through your speaker is kind of cool, but in practice, it just kind of gets in the way, and I've found it to be annoying, and it doesn't matter which brand it is. Precision Pro, Bluetooth, or Bushnell, I just don't like the audible GPS distances, and I don't think I've found anyone that ever actually uses those. That being said, a lot of us do like to listen to music on the golf course. So having a Bluetooth speaker that's going to make our lives easier as golfers and provide the things that us as golfers need, now that's something I can get behind. And the good news is the Wingman 2 does a pretty good job of that. In fact, it does have some nice upgrades over the original Wingman. But does that justify a $150 price tag? And how does it compare to other Bluetooth golf speakers on the market? That's what we're going to talk about today. So first impressions of the Wingman 2 are, it looks almost identical to this. Size, very similar, but there have been some nice upgrades. There is now a battery indicator light on the front, so you can tell if you've got enough juice to complete your round. There's an updated magnet, and this is probably the best feature in a golf Bluetooth speaker. So if you're riding a cart, you take the magnet, just like you would a rangefinder, you stick it on the cart, boom, you've got music. It's actually super helpful, assuming you don't forget it, which I promise you, in your first 5 rounds, you will forget it at least once. Other features that golfers might want in a Bluetooth speaker is the ability to charge other devices. So you want to make sure your phone doesn't go dead when you're on the golf course. So they've completely redesigned this to have a USB-C port as opposed to the old one, which is a USB mini, which, let's face it, no device now should ever have a USB mini port. It should all be USB-C, so that is a nice upgrade. The downside to this is that in order to facilitate that redesign, which is now on the bottom, what you used to have on the old model was a hook. Little hook here. Seems like a little thing that no one's gonna care about. Yeah, no one cares about it unless you're on a push cart or walking. Being able to easily clip this to the side of your bag so you can still listen to music is a nice feature. There isn't really a way to use this if you are a walking golfer. And granted, these are fairly large speakers, so if you're a walking golfer, you're probably better off getting the Wingman Mini, the Precision Pro Duo, or for most of you, probably just a JBL clip that you can pick up for like 40 bucks. But if you're someone who sometimes plays in carts, sometimes you walk, sometimes push cart, it's nice to have that versatility and know that if you buy one speaker, you can easily use it for all of those things. And with the original one, you mostly could. And with this one, there's just now no way to attach it onto your bag. Sure, you can do what I've done, and you can either put it in the garment pocket or you can put it in a water bottle holder. And that honestly works fine, but it just can muddy the sound since it's not sitting right out front and center. And one of the cool things about the Wingman 2 is now you can get yardages directly from the remote itself. So if you're in the middle of the fairway and the cart's way over on the cart path, you can get that distance read to you directly from here. And now you may be wondering, are you going to get the GPS distance from the remote or from the speaker itself? Well, you're going to get it from wherever your phone is because that is how you're getting distances. It's using the Bushnell Golf app, which has really gotten to be pretty good over the years. They've improved it quite a bit, but you still have to go through that extra step of pulling it out, making sure you have the app, making sure it's paired, keeping your phone in your pocket if you're walking away from the cart so you get that accurate distance. It's going to be a little bit cumbersome for some, and that's part of the reason why I think most people just aren't going to use a GPS speaker. You've got a watch, or you've got a different app, or you've got a rangefinder. You've got all sorts of ways to get a GPS distance that's not only going to be more reliable, but less intrusive and faster. So while I'm all for Bluetooth speakers on the course and Bluetooth speakers having features that are good for golfers, the whole audible GPS distances, once again, it's just not for me. But if it is for you, it works great with the Wingman 2. I will say one kind of fun feature that Bushnell does with the Wingman is you can record your own audio notes ahead of time. So if you know you're playing with a specific friend and you want to have a special message just for them when they top the ball in the middle of the fairway, then all you're gonna have to do is hit a button and your speaker is gonna do your heckling for you. I mean, they can't get mad at you if it's the speaker saying it, right? One thing I will note about the new Wingman 2 is, at least in my experience, it seems like the Bluetooth connectivity is stronger. With the original one, if I got like 30 or 40 feet away, all of a sudden the sound would start cutting out and would pause the music, and if I got really far away, it would unpair. It was kind of a pain. And with the new one, I haven't really had that issue at all. If I've got my phone in my pocket and the speaker's back on my bag, I can get like 100+ feet away, and it's stayed strongly connected and has worked really well. So that is a huge upgrade from the original. original, so I haven't been able to figure out if they actually updated the Bluetooth chip or how that worked, but in my experience, the 2 has been much more reliable and allowed me to go much further away than the 1 did. Hey, real quick, sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, are you finding this useful? Then please go subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton and it allows me to continue making honest golf reviews about products just like this. I'll wait. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I appreciate you. Back to the review. The 2 also now has a built-in microphone, so if you want to take calls through your Bluetooth golf speaker, you can do that. Once again, not a feature that I would ever use, but maybe you would. Although along with that, when it comes to sound quality, the Wingman 2 is really good. It gets plenty loud for what you should be needing as far as volume on the golf course, and I've used this off the golf course as well. We were recently over in Central Oregon, we had a rental house, we were sitting outside having dinner, had the music going, and it worked great. But there's a lot of Bluetooth speakers out there that work great. That being said, it's nice to know that it works both on the golf course and off. So if you're looking for something that can do double duty, this can certainly do the job. Battery life is rated for 14 hours, which is the better part of 3 rounds of golf, and I will say it has definitely lived up to that. I played 3 full rounds and listened to it at home for like 3 or 4 hours before I ever had to charge it. So I've been really impressed with the battery life, and I think that's one of the big selling points of this particular model. A more niche feature that most of you will never use, but is kind of cool to know you can do, is if you want to pair it with another Bushnell speaker to make a stereo pair, you can do that. So you can do this with 2 Wingman 2s, or you can mix and match between the Wingman View or a Wingman Mini, but not the original Wingman. Even though you can't use it with the original Wingman, I like the fact you can use it with different Bushnell models. The biggest competitor to Bushnell in the space is Bluetooth, and even though they can also do a stereo pair, you can only do it with a model that is exactly the same. So they have the Player and the Player Plus. You have to do it with either a Player Plus or a Player. You can't mix and match those, which is a little bit disappointing. But that now brings us to the question, should you buy the Wingman 2? We haven't talked a whole lot about the other competitors out there and how they compare, because you also have this, the Bushnell Wingman View. And you also have this, the Bluetooth Player Plus. These are arguably the 2 leaders in the Bluetooth golf GPS speaker, whatever. So how do these compare to the Wingman 2? Well, first off, the big thing that either of these offer is a built-in screen. So you're gonna be able to get visual GPS yardages as well as audio yardages with either of these, which you can't do with the Wingman 2 that we've been talking about. So first, let's talk about the comparable Bushnell. This retails for $199, although I've seen it on sale recently for $169. At 20 bucks more, I would probably go with this. So I found the audio GPS yardages to not be for me and be kind of annoying. Having a built-in screen is super nice, assuming you're someone who rides in a cart. You mount it right here, you can look right at it, you can easily see distances to the front, center, and back of the green while you're listening to music. I love that. That's great. And if I'm being totally honest, here's the downside for Bushnell. The Bluetooth Player Plus, it does just about everything better than the Bushnell. It's louder, the sound quality is better, the screen is much higher end, and you can get way more data with the screen on the Player Plus. Instead of just getting those front, center, and back of the green distances, you can also get a whole lot of extra data with this that you can't get with the Bushnell. With this one, you can get dynamic hazard distance, you can keep score, you can get your drive distance, you can get a whole bunch of stuff, but there's one big downside. In order to get some of that extended data, you gotta pay for a subscription. And I don't know anybody that wants to pay a subscription for their Bluetooth golf speaker. That said, it's not the most egregious subscription ever. You get your first year free, and then it's 49 bucks a year after that. So while it's super annoying, if you use it for every single round you play, it's not the end of the world. And pricing is a little bit all over the map on this. It retails for $250, but they often have it for sale for $199 or less. I've also got a Bluetooth coupon code, which knocks off another 10%. So I've seen it for as low as like $170-ish, which puts it right in line with the Wingman View and just slightly over the original Wingman 2. So let's wrap all this up. This was a far too long video for a Bluetooth golf speaker. Is the Wingman 2 from Bushnell good? Yes. Is it a solid upgrade over the original Wingman? Yes. Should you buy it? Maybe. Do you not need a screen? Do you not care about visual GPS yardages? And do you want a speaker that sounds good and works well for all the things you would need on the golf course? And do you primarily ride in a cart? Then by all means, the Wingman 2 is a solid option, and you probably are not going to be disappointed with it. But for just a little bit more money, if you also usually ride in the cart and you're going to go through the hassle of pairing the speaker with your phone and getting GPS distances and all of that stuff, then personally, I would go with the Bluetooth Player Plus. The screen's better, the data's better, the sound is better. I mean, in almost every way, it is a better speaker than both the Bushnell Wingman 2 and the Wingman View. Neither of those Bushnell speakers are bad speakers, but honestly, Bluetooth has really knocked it out of the park with the Player Plus. So if you're you're looking for a golf cart Bluetooth speaker, that's generally the one I would recommend. If you are a walking golfer, all of this is moot because there are other speakers that are going to be a better fit for you. And rather than ramble on about all those, I will just say look into getting a JBL Clip 3 or 4. You can get them for 40 to 60 bucks depending on which one you get, and it's going to be just fine for what you need. If you have any questions about the Wingman 2 or any of the speakers I mentioned, drop a comment below. I've got quite a bit of experience with all of them. I hope you found this useful. My name is Sean Ogle. I'm the founder of this thing here at Breaking 80, where we talk about cool golf products and cool golf courses. If you haven't done it yet, go subscribe to the channel. It allows me to continue making videos just like this for you, and I hope you have an excellent day. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.